Untitled Spoons.
How's it going, guys? It's your humble hostess Spoons here. Welcome back to another episode of the Geeky Reviews. I really hope you enjoyed the last episode. Today on the Geeky, I will be showing you a very cool figurine created by Dark Horse Comics based on the effervescently popular video game by CD Projekt Red, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Just look at this. It's a beautiful high quality PVC model of Eredin glass. I really hope I'm saying that right. It's one of 5 statues initially released from Dark Horse, which also includes in the collection variants of Geralt in his default School of the Wolf Witcher gear, Triss Merigold, Ciri and Yennefer, with news just announced that there are 3 more in the works, which is very, very exciting. Initial thoughts on this item, aside from being a statue of Eredin, which is awesome in its own right, this item feels pretty weighty compared to the other figures in the collection, which is likely down to the fact that Eredin is slightly bulkier and taller than the others, which makes sense since he's a pretty intimidating character in the game. I measured this item and it stands at about 11.5 inches from the tip of the crown all the way to the bottom of the base, so he really stands out against the other figures. Another reason this Eredin statue is so prominent in this collection is because he is the only one to come with his own detachable item, which is his sword, and as you can see, just pops out like this. It doesn't come as a separate accessory. The likely reason it can be detached is probably more for packaging reasons, since you can probably tell the hilt of the sword is sculpted into Eredin's hand. So don't do what I did and think that it's broken and fallen out of the box. It's carefully taped into the packaging as a separate piece. The sword measures at just over 6 inches. It's quite sharp on the point considering it's plastic. It's also very delicate, so you absolutely want to use a side of caution when handling this part at any point, since even the slightest amount of force to it applied would likely snap it fairly easily. Now, another thing about this, and I'm not sure if it's just the way mine is, but the sword isn't incredibly stable when placed in Eredin's hand. It's quite loose. If I give it a gentle nudge, you can see it actually slides out of place fairly easily, which isn't an issue at all, but I thought I'd mention it just to be careful when selecting a place to display this. Showing off the head sculpt here, it's very beautifully put together. The helmet and the head are combined as an entire piece, so it doesn't come apart to reveal Eredin's face like in the game. You can probably see a very faint line here that's debossed for effect. I would have loved for the mask to come off, but I imagine it would have looked a little clunky and messy, whereas this looks really slick and really well made. Moving along to the details of the lower body and armour, the body is made of a nice firm PVC standing in the pose shown in his promotional artwork, just like the other statues. It's also accented beautifully with nice patches of soft PVC for areas such as the torn cloak at the back and the additional studded tasset along the bottom of the armour. You can even see the incredible detail of the studs being embossed here as opposed to simply just being painted on. Although the paintwork alone is gorgeous and not a single bristle of the paintbrush went out of place when this was being decorated, the paint and the sculpt are equally insanely detailed. Even here you can see the precision where the fingers are decorated with armour. There's no messy line between the two. They've actually put a lot of thought and effort into the design of this. The paint along the bottom of the greaves has been given a lovely distressed wash to show that he's been wading through mud while trying to hunt down Ciri, and he's presented on a really nice hollow display base with the wolf medallion Witcher logo embossed on the top there, giving it a nice stone look. Also, one of the nicest and goriest features I noticed on this is the entire figures being flecked with red paint to give the impression that he's splattered with lots of blood. You can see here it's very prominent along the metallic paint areas of the gauntlets and here on the knees the most. We all know Eredin has a pretty relentless nasty side when it comes to dispatching those he's not too fond of, so it's great they've managed to demonstrate this in a really visible feature in the finer details. Overall, it's a really beautiful replication of Eredin. I think it's certainly one of the most detailed, which is partly owed to the fact that he is slightly bigger, but if you're a huge fan of The Witcher or just love to appreciate the craftsmanship of a really well made figurine, then it's safe to say that this item is definitely for you. I'm a firm believer in that you get what you pay for, but in this case I can absolutely make an exception since it's very reasonably priced. I got this item from gameabilia.co.uk for about £25, and it's the same price as the other statues in the collection too. It's pretty sought after, but I would say you can aim to get this at around the £30 to £40 margin, which would be a very reasonable ask. I'll leave a link in the description for their site. They're a great bunch and they ship worldwide, so I'd highly advise getting it through them if you can. So that's it guys, thank you so much for watching. It's been so much fun to show you this entire collection. It's very rare for me to collect and review an entire set like this, but I adore every single figurine from this series by Dark Horse. I think they've done an incredible job, so I'm quite sad I finished reviewing them. However, Dark Horse and CD Projekt Red have just announced a second wave at the 2017 Toy Fair, which includes Geralt in his Grandmaster Ursine Witcher gear, Shani and Dandelion, slated for release at around September 2017, so I'll eagerly be awaiting those and getting them pre-ordered as soon as I can. As always, thank you so much for watching the Geeky Reviews. It's been a lot of fun. If you liked this video, please do leave a like, and if you loved this video and this series, please do subscribe, since I'll be bringing you more of what you love very soon. Thank you, your support means so much to me. I'll leave links in the description for all the things, but don't forget to stay in touch on Twitter for all my latest news and video announcements, so be sure to follow me at I'mLittleSpoons, as I'll be bringing you more exciting geeky stuff very soon. Thanks again, and toodles!